Immanuel.
So into the arena is Josef Immanuel, the former Namibian flyweight champion back in 2021. He's the former WBO African Continental Champion at the same weight. No stranger to IBA.PRO cards. In his last contest, which was in Ufa in Russia, he won the WBA Asia East title strap. An IBA Champions Night staged in the Russian city. Won on a technical decision that night, outpoint or getting the better on the scorecards after an accidental clash of heads curtailed his contest against the 2016 Olympian Vasily Egorov of Russia, the two-time European champion and the 2015 World Championship silver medalist. So the fact that he was leading on the scorecards when the bout was stopped in the 7th round after that clash of heads gives you an idea as to Immanuel's ability.
Поважаныя гости, сустракайце, Dzianis Salotskikh.
His opponent is from right here in Belarus, making his professional debut, and that is Dzianis Salotskikh, 24 years of age, from Slonim in Belarus. Extensive career on the international amateur scene. Recently in action in the European Championships last year. He lost at the quarter-final stage to the eventual, the semi-final stage to the eventual silver medalist Belarus.
Пришло время представить вам соперника. Боксер тяжелого рига. Его рост 162 сантиметра, вес 53 килограмма 650 граммов. На профессиональном ринге он провел 21 бой, одержал 16 побед, 7 из которых нокаутом. Потерпел 4 поражения и 1 бой завершил в ничью. Он владел поясами чемпиона Африки по версии WBO и чемпиона Восточной Азии по версии WBA. Им всегда движет интерес. И сегодня он намерен узнать, каков он, белорусский бокс. Из Намибии, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Windhoek, Namibia, Josef Immanuel. В золотом углу боксер из города Гродно. Ему 24 года, его рост 167 сантиметров, вес 53 килограмма 850 граммов. За его плечами достойный путь на олимпийском ринге. Перед вами мастер спорта Республики Беларусь по боксу международного класса и действующий чемпион Республики Беларусь. Его называют красавчик Dzianis Salotskikh. Из ударом гонга третий джентльмен ринге Валерий Пастухов, Молдова.
No holding, no holding. Listen to me, Gomez. Second. Good luck.
So a quick look at the tail of the tape then.
Please.
Ahead of Salotskikh's professional debut. No soft touch either, because it's the former African flyweight champion from the pro ranks who will be emerging from the black corner. That's Josef Immanuel from the Namibian capital of Windhoek. So we're underway then. This a contest made at 54 kilograms. That's 119 pounds, so just above the 118-pound professional bantamweight limit, inside the super bantamweight limit of 122 pounds. Between boxers from Namibia and right here in Belarus, the orthodox boxer wearing the black trimmed with gold is Josef Immanuel, 32 years of age, from Namibia, and again enjoyed real success in his previous IBA Champions Night appearance. That was his most recent outing in the boxing ring. That was back in October. The southpaw wearing the white trimmed with gold was Dzianis Salotskikh, 24 years of age. Beautiful right hand straight down the pipe from the Namibian veteran snapped the head back of the professional debutant Salotskikh. So two men just fencing with the lead hands in this battle between orthodox and southpaw boxers. Left hand attempted to the body, but you can see that Immanuel looking to counter over the top of Salotskikh's work downstairs. Just getting onto the front foot for one of the rare occasions in this opening round. Left hand lead out of the southpaw stance, not too far away from Salotskikh. There you see the attempted counters from the former African champion once again, the man wearing the black trimmed with gold. So the fencing with the lead hands continues. Looking for a right-left combination is Salotskikh, but again, look at that sharp counter with the backhand through the middle, and again from Immanuel. Found the range with his backhand against the southpaw pretty effectively in the first 2 minutes of this round. But it's the debutant from Belarus who is seeking to get on the front foot and take it to his more experienced opponent. So again, continuing to measure his man with his lead hand is Salotskikh, but that's countered immediately by a left jab from Immanuel. He seems content to try to play counter-puncher for the most part, time his opponent, make him miss, and then make him pay. Beautiful right hand to the body, followed by a left hook from Immanuel, not too far away with the right hook out of the orthodox stance once again, but keeping his shape nicely in the face of this counter-punching pressure is Salotskikh, who seeks to continue to get on the front foot and be the aggressor in the closing stages of that opening round. So eschewing the stool is the travelling man from Windhoek in Namibia, and again you see that right hand which introduced Salotskikh to the professional ranks. Effective counter punching, particularly with his backhand from Immanuel during the course of the first 3 minutes. Remember, it's the 10-point must system in effect. It's scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds and about made at 54 kilograms. So we move into the second round then. Salotskikh, two-time participant in the IBA Senior World Championship. Good right hand to the body was a straight shot from Immanuel. That was countered by a backhand from Salotskikh, but then Immanuel came with a straight right hand once again. First saw Salotskikh in the 2021 IBA World Championships, finishing in 9th place, just beyond the quarterfinals, just before the quarterfinals is when he was eliminated. In that tournament staged in the Stark Arena as it was then in Belgrade, the Serbian capital, and that's now the Belgrade Arena, home to both Partizan and Crvena Zvezda, Red Star Belgrade in EuroLeague basketball. So we've got a clash of heads between the orthodox and southpaw boxer, and I think that the debutant has picked up an injury. Indeed, it's a significant one as well. Clash of heads. Common occurrence when orthodox and southpaw boxers meet in a ring. Saw on the wide shot just how significant the battle for front foot position was, and that's a significant injury as well. So the referee, Mr. Valery Pastuhov, calling time. Now, is this for a call of the doctor? Indeed it is, because Immanuel's been sent to the furthest neutral corner, but that cut in a really bad place. Never good to pick up an injury around the optics, but when it's above the eyebrows, and there's the doctor's verdict after an inspection. So for the second consecutive IBA appearance in a row, for Josef Immanuel. The bout has been stopped on cuts. That's the fate that befell he and Vasily Egorov when the contest was stopped in the 7th round of a bout scheduled for 10. But here, in the 2nd round of a bout scheduled for 6 against the decorated amateur Dzianis Salotskikh, a clash of heads. Well, I thought the contest was over. I'm sure I saw the doctor make a gesture which could only be interpreted as this bout is over, but clearly changed his mind, and after further treatment the action resumes. So perhaps a sense of urgency going to be injected into the work of Salotskikh now. Without wishing to be overly graphic, that injured eye is certainly going to present a target for the slashing and straight punches of Immanuel. Not too far away with the right hand once again. Salotskikh, who was seeking to be the aggressor for the entirety of the opening round, just a little more circumspect now as he tries to work his way in and pick his shots. Counter right hand not too far away again from Immanuel. Salotskikh reaching for that southpaw left but didn't take his feet with him. So looking to keep that injured that injured left eye out of harm's way. There's a good thrusting right cross just above the belt line landed by Immanuel. Picking his punches effectively. Counter right hand again in response to the lead southpaw right hook shot out by Salotskikh, and his problems mounting increasingly here because his mouthpiece was dislodged just before the bell to conclude the round. I'm not quite sure if it happened simultaneously, but he made the gesture to pick it up himself. That would be a risky tactic in the event that it came before the referee's command of time or the bell. 2 rounds completed. An incident-filled 2nd round where Salotskikh picked up an injured left eye off what I think was a clash of heads. Some of the action then from round number 2. Good right hand landed by Salotskikh twice in quick succession during that exchange. See Immanuel reaching for his Sunday punch, the right hand in response. So into the 3rd round then. Good straight southpaw left to the body driven in by Salotskikh. Look at how he's keeping that glove almost clamped against his temple in a bid to protect that injured left eye, that injury sustained in the previous round after the heads came together. I don't speak Belarusian, but I interpreted the gesture of the ringside doctor when he waved his hand across his face in an outward motion. I thought the contest was over. Good double right hand, uppercut and hook from Immanuel, but southpaw left in response, and the action heating up here in the 3rd as the crowd dialing up the decibel level. There's a good right hand to the body from Immanuel, which drives Salotskikh back. Approaching a minute gone in this 3rd round. Just looking to get busy with his lead jab was Immanuel, but he was countered by a good stab jab to the body from Salotskikh. Really committing to that backhand. The heads have come together again, and I don't know if that's a new cut or it's worse than the existing cut. That was a shot which landed around the injured area. So it's been quite an introduction to the professional ranks for Dzianis Salotskikh. Head guards no longer a feature of 3-round boxing in the IBA code, of course. They were removed on a global level at the 2013 IBA World Championships in Kazakhstan. Another right hand lands on the injured eye, and the referee, Mr. Valery Pastuhov, calling time and asking for the doctor's inspection once again. Oh my goodness, that cut worsened after the coming together once more, and surely this can't go on. Looks as though he's been shot with a BB gun, the extent to which that left eye is opened. Not just a cut, but it's opened up into a hole as well. So we'll be going to the scorecards, I believe, the 6-round contest. Normally it's to the scorecards after 4, so it could be ruled a no contest here. And it's an accidental clash of heads for my money that caused the injury. Bitter disappointment for Salotskikh on his professional debut on home soil right here in Belarus. My goodness, that is a gruesome injury. So as we were saying earlier, when I thought the bout was stopped initially, coming together in the 3rd round, it's the 2nd bout in a row for Immanuel Josef. Finds the bout stopped after an accidental clash of heads. The 2nd coming together is so committed to the right hand when he throws it that all his body weight follows through in the event that it doesn't land. Heads collided forcefully at close range. Well, let's hope that the injury can be treated by Salotskikh's care team. A long way to come from the Namibian capital. Have the bout curtailed once again. Mention the fact that he picked up the WBA Asia East title when he won on a technical decision against Vasily Egorov, the 2015 World Championship silver medalist. And those belts are significant because it gets you in the reckoning and indeed the ranking of the governing body for which you win the strap. It's a pretty stern test for Salotskikh to be matched with such an experienced opponent, fighting outside of his homeland for the 2nd consecutive contest prior to his IBA Champions Night debut in Ufa last October. All but 2 of his bouts took place in Namibia, and the only 3 outside of his homeland took place in neighboring South Africa. So let's get the official verdict from tonight's MC, Mr. Sergei Grom, who's standing by in position.
Вот и случается все. Но должны эти 2 человека в ринге. Достойны ваших аплодисментов, это 100%. Dzianis Salotskikh, все произошло на ваших глазах на 2-й минуте 3-го раунда. Валерий Пастухов остановил поединок. В связи с невозможностью продолжать поединок боксера с золотого угла ринга. В этом бою победу одержал боксер черного угла из Намибии, Josef Immanuel. Ladies and gentlemen.
So it is indeed a technical decision in favor of Josef Immanuel. He's boxing smartly, particularly behind his right hand, so he continues to earn success on IBA stages far away from home. There's Josef Immanuel. Very effective use of the right hand over the course of the contest that was fought. And there's evidence of it. That was perhaps an introduction to the pro ranks, if you will, for Salotskikh. He asserted his deeper level of experience pretty much from the outset. It wasn't naked aggression. Smart counter-punching for the most part. Salotskikh. But that's where the heads came together again. He was winding up for the right hand. The eye had been injured by that point, I believe. But we're going to the scorecard. This Immanuel declared a victor. before we went to the scorecard.